Today we're going to be making a delicious high protein breakfast called shakshuka. Now if you've never had this, this is delicious. It is made with tomatoes and onions and garlic and eggs, and it's something that people make all over the world. It was originated in Africa, but it is eaten everywhere. And it's, if you love tomatoes and you love eggs, you love all those types of things, you're gonna really love this breakfast dish. All right, so we're gonna start off by putting about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil into our pan. And from there, we need to chop up some onions, and also we're gonna be adding some garlic. So I'm making a single serving of this. I put in a little bit more in the way of eggs than probably some people do because I am on a high protein diet. I'm just trying to get more protein in throughout the day. So I actually am gonna be adding 3 eggs. Now, if you wanted to add some egg whites to this, you could easily do that, but I'm going to go ahead and add about 1/3 cup of onions. Probably add a little bit more for good measure. This is a red onion, so it's not going to be real hot. I do like spicy. I don't like it super spicy, but I do enjoy spicy. So you make this as fine as chopped as you like. Traditionally, this is chopped, you know, pretty small. It's not big hunks of onion in there, but you know what? It's whatever you prefer. You're making this for yourself, so you just cook it up any way you like. All right, we're gonna let the onions start sauteing and I'll bring you right back. In the meantime, what we're gonna do is probably go ahead and cut up our tomatoes. Now, I took these out of my freezer last night. These were some Roma tomatoes that I grew last summer. I love to do it this way because in the next morning when this is kind of partially thawed, I can just pull the skins right off. It's so simple. It's an easy way to do it. All I do is core my tomatoes before I throw them in a Ziploc bag, and then there you go. Look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my tomatoes, and then I'll bring you back and we'll start adding all our different ingredients. Now, you don't have to remove the skins from your tomatoes. I do it just because it helps this all cook up a lot faster. But if you wanted to just cut up fresh tomatoes, or if you wanted to use diced tomatoes from a can, you could do that as well. It's whatever you want to do. This dish will come out good any way you make it, whether it's, you know, fresh or frozen or, you know, whatever. This is a really yummy breakfast dish, and you'll see it doesn't take very long to cook at all. You want your onions to become translucent, and I don't add my garlic until my onions are really almost cooked. Your garlic will burn within a minute or two, so I try to put that in after my onions are cooked. I have a pretty large garden, and every summer I really take a lot of effort to get my tomato harvest just as healthy and making as many tomatoes as I possibly can. And I find throughout the year I really don't have to buy really any tomato products at all. Occasionally I have to get tomato paste or something like that, but really I have frozen, canned, sauces, all kinds of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and add our garlic. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of this minced garlic. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my tomatoes. And you're gonna get lots of yummy juice from these tomatoes, which is exactly what you want. I kind of mix in my onions and garlic with the tomatoes, and then as these start cooking, you'll see this is just such a fun dish to make. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper, a little salt, Now at this time that the tomatoes are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add some diced peppers. Now these are sweet peppers that I, again, get out of my garden in the summer. My peppers are almost gone. I'm anxious to get everything going for the summer and spring again. I eat fresh all summer, but then in the winter I try to freeze and can as much of this as I can and just preserve this summer harvest. As our tomato has cooked down with everything, you can see it's really broken the tomatoes down, which is exactly what we want. We need some of this liquid to poach our eggs. So at this point, we're gonna add 3 eggs. Now, I actually like to break the egg into a little bowl because I wanna make sure that the egg stays whole. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make a couple of impressions in my tomatoes. Right here will be great. All right. Now we're gonna cover this and we're gonna let it cook anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm just gonna kind of move these whites around a little. All right, we're gonna set our timer for 5 minutes and I'll bring you back. All right, let's check our shakshuka and see how it looks. Wow, this looks fantastic. I do wanna just check my eggs real quick. And these are perfect for me. I don't really like the whites. That's perfect. I don't like the whites real runny, but I do like a little bit of yellow in the yolk. So I serve this in a bowl. Like this. Look how beautiful that came out. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to top mine with a little cilantro. You could top this with parsley or parsley and cilantro, really whatever kind of herbs you like. This is what I have in my garden right now growing. And I'm also going to add a little bit of feta cheese to the top. All right, so this shakshuka is traditionally served with pita. I'm actually gonna have a 0-carb tortilla and a cup of coffee, and I'm going to call that breakfast. But let's give this a try for you so you can see how good this comes out. So all you do is take a tortilla and you grab some of your shakshuka. That is so delicious. If you have not tried this dish, you've got to give it a try. It is so good and so healthy. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this shakshuka. If you've never made it before, you saw it was really simple. 10 minutes, breakfast was ready. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.